Hi, happy September. I'm Mary Helen Sheriff, one of your tour guides here at Bookish Road Trip and author of Boop and Eve's Road Trip. And I have with me today a special guest, Kathy L. Murphy, who is the Pulpwood Queen. She is the CEO of the International Pulpwood Queens and Timber Guys Book Club, Reading Nation, which is the largest book club in the world with over 800 chapters. Kathy, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you. And it's time to fall back into reading. So I'm ready with a stack of great books.
I'm ready to hear about them. Tell me what you got for September.
Well, right now, our September book of the month is Lauren Marino's Bookish Broads. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm really excited about this because it's women who wrote themselves into history. It's over 60 women who have been featured in this book. And what I love about it, it's all illustrated. And for example, they have Harper Lee, who wrote my favorite book of all time, To Kill a Mockingbird, and it gives a story about her. But what's amazing about this wonderful resource for book clubs is it also has a further reading. So it lists the books. It suggests To Kill a Mockingbird and Go Set a Watchman. So it's wonderful. And each one of them contains a quote. And I'm going to have to read this one real quick. And this is from Harper Lee. Any writer worth her salt writes to please herself on an exorcism, not necessarily her demon, but of her divine discontent. And it's this way with Maya Angelou and on through the whole book, but it's just a wonderful history of female writers who've had to overcome obstacles such as legal rights, access to education, to prejudice, to criticism. And we see this now with scientists and artists, but this one particularly is geared towards writers. So this is for any reader, this is like your library book, perfect book club selection. Book of the month, Lauren Marino, and she's on our Breathless Bubbles and Books all this week and will be live on our online book club tomorrow night. So if you're a member, you can talk to her directly. So next up, we have our international book of the month, and we just had River Jordan on, who hails from Nashville, Tennessee. River is a Pulpwood Queen favorite. Her new book, The Ancient Way, is a nonfiction book. It's a discoveries on the path of Celtic Christianity. What's amazing about this book is, as we're Bookish Road Trip armchair traveling, is that she went to the coast of Scotland. And it's her story about going to the place she's always wanted to go. And of course, Ireland is a perfect place for storytellers. So many storytellers come from there. And River Jordan is a master storyteller. So I highly recommend this read. It'll make you want to travel there when it all gets better with COVID, The Ancient Way. And then from there, we're going to really fun. The week after this, we're going to be having Eileen English on with Hippie Chick, coming of age in the 60s. Now, I was a little young in the 60s to fully understand what was happening out on the West Coast. But if you really want to know what was going on, you've got to read this book because it starts out with a rebellious teenager who finds her mother dead in the bathroom. And she has a difficult father, and she's basically sent out to California to live with her sister during that time of everything that was changing about, free love. And she tells it all. And I'm telling you, Eileen is I love the picture too. It's great. But if you want to know about the 60s, it's got great quotes from Peter Coyote. This is a great book. And she'll be on our Breathless Bubbles and Books the week after this. But it's terrific read. Next up, we have Always a Song. And I am one of these people that love music. And I feel like songwriters are some of the best storytellers in the world. It's like poetry to music. This is Singer-Songwriters, Sinners and Saints, and it's a story of the folk music revival by Ellen Harper. Ellen is a folk matriarch. She's a singer-songwriter, and she is the mother to Grammy-winning musician Ben Harper. Sam Berry, who's my good friend and a Pulpit Queen author, helped put this book together. And so if you want to know the stories behind the stories on the songwriters and the folk, it's all coming back. So it was a hot topic, and it ties in with our 60 things. It has great pictures too. So all of these are listed on our website, www.thepulpitqueens.com. And as we continue with this time period, I read this wonderful little book by Nancy J. Martin, From the Summer of Love to the Valley of the Moon, a memoir. So here's another memoir of a teenager, and she has a rock and roll wedding. Her story relates the saga of life and relationships, all the way up to in 2005 when she transitioned yet into another challenging marriage to the founder of the iconic winery in the Valley of the Moon. So, well, we partner with Breathless Wines out in Sonoma. So I thought that would be really cool because it's got this wine, which goes so well with book club. So From the Summer of Love to the Valley of the Moon by Nancy J. Martin. Terrific read. And last, I am so excited about this book. This is a novel, Luz, a novel by Deborah Thomas. And this book is truly one of the most remarkable reads I've read in a long time. It's the story of Alma, who has a willful teenage daughter, Luz, who would know the truth about her past. And there are things Lutz can never know about the journey Alma took to the U.S. to find her missing father. We're hearing a lot about the border and everything that's going on with this. This was a very well-researched book, and it's getting all kinds of awards. If you want to know the story behind the story of these border, why people want to come here, why they send their children here, this, everything you probably know. This is a story of a family who's desperate to cross the U.S. border. You have to read it. It's just terrific. And that rounds out our reading for this month of September. So we're falling back to reading with some really great reads. I think everybody's going to be very excited about the books. And if you want to know more, you can join Breathless Bubbles and Books on Facebook. It's free, and you can listen to the daily blogs of our authors. And I wanted to also mention before I get away, don't forget to read Boots and his road trip, because I'm telling you, as we're armchair traveling during this time of COVID, there is nothing better than this Facebook blog site that Mary Sheriff and many more authors are running. And it was a previous book club selection, but I have to mention it because it's so good. Okay.
Thanks for the plug, Kathy.
You know me, I'm out to promote authors' books, literacy, and reading. That's my sole mission in life. So September, everybody, let's get back to reading. We are not going to be opening up the world anytime too soon. So all the more reading, all the more challenging for us to get out and order books from your favorite independent bookstore and support your favorite authors, and check out Breathless Bubbles and Books and Bookish Road Trip, because we are on the same page that reading is important.
It's all about the story, right, Kathy?
All about the story.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to dig into that pile of books.